Hello? Is anyone there?
Hello?
Oh, okay, hold on, let me turn this up.
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately. Who is this?
Oh, this is Charlie Robinson. Sorry, I didn't realize I was inconveniencing. I can just go.
Yeah, this is sort of my time to sort of wallow in the despair of the apocalypse. You're kind of intruding on my space, but I mean, whilst you're here, are you the Charlie Robinson?
I didn't know I was the Charlie Robinson, but yes, I guess I am.
Like, wait, like seriously, you're the one with the skin and the hair,
I am the one with the skin and unfortunately the purple hair.
and if the rumors are to believe, the functioning organs.
Yeah, the functioning organs and the pronouns as well. I've got all the pronouns.
Oh
and all
my
the hair.
gosh. Well, it's an honor to have you on as a guest today here at Before Extinction, the podcast for artists by artists, right before the end of the world. Charlie Robinson, pleasure to have you. Charlie is a friend, is a foe, is the last human left, and is also a fantastic theatre person. A generalized term for an actor and director and writer.
Ooh, and producer as well.
And producer.
Yes.
From comedies like Queer Review, Chicago, The Lighthouse Express, and Pain in the Neck, to tragedies such as The Death of Xerxes and Shrek the Musical. You have played in, written for, and directed a multitude of theatre shows across a varying range of themes. When it comes to writing, how does the process differ across comical works versus more emotional and political topics? And with comedy, how do you keep things on track?
Oh my goodness. The comedy writing is really the one. Keeping on track is genuinely the hardest part of doing any kind of comedy writing. Especially, I mean, look, we do a lot of, we do a lot of review writing, so sketch comedy often involves a lot of people, which is really great. But it also means that a lot of times in rehearsals, someone will start a bit and then it just keep going. You'll just keep riffing on the same bit, and it's hard to tell when the audience won't find that funny, but we will. I mean, one sketch we had was literally the exact same joke over and over again. Just how many variations of the word sick we could use.
Wait, the exact same joke over and over again?
Yeah, the exact same joke over and over again.
Like, the exact same joke over and over again?
No, well, some variation, but pretty much the exact same joke over and over again. But I mean, my process is I like puns, so honestly, if you give me some funny wordplay, I'm a happy little chap. What can I say? It brings my heart a little bit of joy.
So if the writing for comedy is, like you'd say, is it semi-improvisational? Like, with comedy, you don't go in with an intent, do you?
It can depend from person to person, but I tend to improvise a lot of my comedy. Like, improv is more what I like to base my thing off. But, like, often you'll find inspiration in the media or like on social media. I think that can also help jumpstart your comedy writing. I mean, one of my favorite pieces of writing I did with my twin was based off it's stupid news article that we saw about a man getting delivered 500 tires into his driveway. And that just in itself is so funny. How can we make this a bit? And that's often, it's either inspiration from news that I see or, look.
500 Tires ended up being a parody of the song Fireflies, right?
Yes, which we lovingly named Tire Flies. And I hate to say that I think I peaked there and I will never be funny again.
So then with tragedies like The Death of Xerxes and obviously Shrek the Musical, is the process any different?
I think with those I haven't written as much. They're more, those were acting. And of course Shrek the Musical is a Greek tragedy, if anything. It is so sad. But I think even just the acting process is completely different. How you get into character is a completely different skill. I think with comedy, so much of the acting that you do is, I am aware that I am doing a bit right now.
Yeah.
And it's very self-aware. Where I think tragedy, you kind of have to sink more into the character and become a different person.
So is there a difference between trying to get someone to laugh and trying to get someone to believe?
Yeah, when you're trying to get someone to laugh, it really, you do feel like a court jester, I think. It's like, I think comedy is so much of a, I'm putting on a little hat and I'm doing a little dance and please laugh at me. And if you don't laugh because my comedy's good, just laugh that I'm trying, you know?
Please.
I'm begging you. I think also when you do, like, I write a lot of comedy, there's a lot of self-doubt you get before you go on stage, which is oh god, am I actually funny, or am I just a stupid little guy just writing little jokes in my room?
Because there's not much difference between writing jokes for comedy and just like retelling an inside joke.
It isn't much the same, except you have to try and explain the inside joke without over-explaining it and being like, you were there. You were there on Mars, right?
Is there such thing as an outside joke?
Oh, good question.
Like, aren't all jokes inside?
Yeah. I guess maybe if you stand outside or in the middle of a desert, I think that's a nice scenic place to tell an outside joke. It's specifically for the desert.
Now, what I'm about to say, I'm sure you've already noticed. And what I'm about to say may seem silly, preposterous, ludicrous, even, dare I say, catty wampus.
Oh my god!
The economic, psychological, sociological, spiritual, and environmental implications of what have happened is wreaking havoc across the globe. Economies surrounding industries such as food, pharmaceuticals, and cosmetics are crashing. Acres of agriculture is being left to rot as people no longer need to eat. People are falling out of love as their partners take on new faces. Thousands of jobs have been lost, and the psychological impacts on the everyday Joe, whose life has been completely turned upside down, well, they've been devastating. Not that anyone can kill themselves, of course, because people can no longer die, people can't age, and no one new is being born. War has stopped, but violence is at an all-time high. Nuclear generators have decayed as people no longer have the facets or appendages to operate them. I'm sure you're already aware of all this chaos, all this rapture. Charlie, how are you staying alive in a world where everyone but you have been turned into muppets?
Oh, well, let's just say this is definitely an apocalypse that I would like to survive in. I always said, and before the apocalypse, you can quote me on this. Yeah. I've always said, any kind of zombie apocalypse, any kind of virus, natural disaster, if it doesn't kill me, I'm killing myself. And at that point, the idea of having to survive, fend for the idea of having to forage for food, and the quality of life is so bad, I may as well just not.
But surely you'd want to, if it was a zombie apocalypse, you'd want to take out one or two zombies,
yeah,
right?
Maybe, and then I'd be satisfied because the idea of
you'd clock out then before you get bit.
Yeah, or get bit and just let it happen. Honestly, I think the idea.
Wait, would you want to become a zombie or be put out of your misery before?
Yeah, no, I think I want to be put out of my misery.
Oh, I want people to keep me around.
As your little pet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, it's the quality of life is already so shit that, why would I want to continue? The idea of, living in the dirt and scavenging for food is so primal and awful to me.
Wait, are you telling me that in a zombie apocalypse, the haunting faces of your undead loved ones would be, what, traumatizing?
Absolutely
impossible.
Traumatic. And I don't want to see any of that.
Well, with this apocalypse, no one's sure how it happened, but on a Tuesday, randomly in the year, at 5 p.m., every single human being on Earth, man, woman, child, became a Muppet. Apart from you, Charlie. So, what's the game with this one? What's the plan?
Oh man, I am the celebrity guest every day of my life. There's no one to compete with. I'm always the Charlie Robinson. I am always tonight's special guest, Charlie Robinson.
Being the only human left.
Do
you ever get some people, or should I say puppets, sort of clawing at your hands? Because, I will be completely transparent here. I am jealous of your opposable thumbs.
Well, They are pretty great, you know? And they're even better because they don't flop around. Like, I'm sure you've got the issue of some floppy hands. And, you know, I have seen some, at night, I have seen Cookie Monster staring in through my window. And I will say it is a little disturbing and frightening. Especially,
what is he doing? Just sort of staring? Or?
Well, look, he started just by staring, but at some point he stopped saying cookies in a really disturbing voice, and he started just sitting at my window and going, humans. I'm not sure what to do with that at the moment, but I've locked my doors and my windows, and it's all well and good. Like,
but last night you found some crumbs under your pillow.
Yeah, last night I did find some cookie crumbs, and it's a bit weird because I don't like eating cookies. I'm not a sweet tooth, so I'm trying to figure out if he's found my key under the welcome mat. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh. Oh no.
Give me a second. I'm gonna go quickly hide my keys again. I'll be right back.
This episode has been sponsored by Puppet Aid. If you or a loved one has been turned into a puppet and has been squashed underneath a giant piano or fallen down a large hole with no way of getting up, you're entitled to financial reimbursement. Now, Charlie, as an actor, what has been your most intensive role, and what has been your funniest bit?
Ooh, most intensive role. I'll come back to that one. Funniest bit. Oh, I hate this because I already spoiled it before with Tire Flies. But look, it was the one sketch I made where I went, great, I'm gonna go directing now because I don't think I can be funny ever again.
Well, have you ever improvised a really, really good line on stage?
Oh, well, there was one when I was directing one queer review. We did have a pirate sketch that I loved, and I did write that one. And I don't think I improvised a bit to save the day, but one of my actors completely forgot that they were in that sketch and just straight up didn't go on stage. So it was only when we went to go find them backstage and they were halfway getting changed for their next sketch, we went, oh, fuck! Okay, we better go fix that. But my twin and the other two actors did a really, really good job of improvising. They were pirates. They were talking about they were getting malt beer from Marrickville, which is where we were located. And in the end, I just jumped on stage in my... I wasn't even wearing anything piratey themed. I wish I could have
What were you dressed as?
I was dressed as Charlie.
Oh, the famous.
As Charlie, the famous.
Yeah.
Which is, waistcoat and tie. And it was, we jumped on. Yo-ho! We continued the sketch, and I only forgot one line, but which is hilarious. Which
wasn't even your line.
No, I did write it as well.
Fair
which is
play,
the sad part was standing there and going.
You look at the script and say, "Who the hell wrote this?"
Look, oh my goodness. I wish you know what? I'll come back to whether I can think of a funny bit, but I've always with my cast, I like to get them to break me as much as possible. Oh my gosh, I'm totally forgetting about this one bit where we talk about a book club.
Okay.
And every night I would come up with a different line to say, and I think my favorite was is the giving tree ever gonna get? That was one of my favorites, as well as where is Wally Russell? Where is he? They were great. I loved those two. Generally, I'm not easily breakable on stage, except there was one time where I kept laughing at the same joke I kept making. But I like to get my cast to try and come up with bits to make me laugh.
Well then, if you're not easy to break on stage, what was your most intensive role?
Most intensive role, I think, was I did a series of original student written pieces of musicals, which was really fun. And I would only say it's the most intensive role because we had to sing a lot of Sweeney Todd. I did, which I loved. I'm a trained opera singer, but I find Sondheim and Sweeney Todd is always a real... She's a bitch to sing.
Is it because you have to hit a wide range of notes very quickly?
Yeah, it is. It's a very jumpy piece of music, and very, very fast, very, very high, and if you don't struggle to hit the notes, you run out of breath. So you spend a lot of time going. So I'd say that was the most intensive role I had to do.
Now, Muppets don't really eat, die, or have any form of biological need or imperative, but being the last true human, how are you surviving in a world of mad puppets trying to tear each other apart? What do you eat now that farming has stopped? And how do you avoid scientists like Bunsen and Beaker who will dissect you trying to figure out a cure? Also, what's your tips to avoid falling anvils?
Falling anvils, look, they're a big problem. But I managed to, so you know how you can get those glasses, they're like scientific glasses. I don't know the scientific term. I'm not a scientist. But they have little magnifying glasses at the bottom so you can see what's directly under you while you're working. So I snagged a pair of those, flipped them upside down.
Yeah.
You can always see the sky.
Oh,
Right? So when you're walking, you can always tell that there's an anvil. And also, you've got your ears tuned. You can't wear earplugs here.
Yeah.
Can't wear any headphones because
No.
if you have your ears tuned, you will hear from the sky and that's how you know to run out of the way. So is it uncomfortable? A little bit.
Yeah,
but you do figure out how to
You have to make sacrifices.
survive them. And food wise, I think my training from my childhood really came in handy because I used to eat a lot of grass and sand. Sand was my favorite as a kid. And if you haven't tried sand yet, you should because it's salty from the ocean. So it's got some nice seasoning in it.
So is this your diet? Mostly sand and grass?
No, a little bit of sand and grass, but also you do find the occasional. Look, I'm not proud to admit this.
Yeah.
But you do find the occasional dead puppet, and munching on a little bit of cotton doesn't go astray. A little bit of felt. It's a delicacy.
I think you might be. So the problem is, of course, that Muppets can't die. So any dead puppets you fed, I think those were just normal puppets. They were never people.
Oh, well,
yeah.
They must...
In fact, actually, that's an all too common problem these days. I came home once to, my family and my wife and kids, and they weren't talking to me, and I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I've done something wrong. No, it just turns out that I didn't walk home. I was actually temporarily insane and walked into a toy store. Yes.
Yeah, common problem, unfortunately.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so, look, nibbling on the occasional Muppet is...
Do you not ever get any stares from that?
Well, it might be the reason why Cookie Monster is, hunting me down. Because I may or may not have snacked on, his wife and children. So, that might be why that's happening, but...
Yeah, maybe.
That's okay. Look...
Maybe.
Look, the good thing about Muppets, and the reason I don't fear the fact that they are tearing at me, they don't have teeth.
That's true. That's true.
The worst I've gotten is a little bit of a mauling.
But it's like their soft little arms. It probably feels like a massage, really, more than.
Yeah, it is a bit like a massage. The only thing you need to be aware of is just don't look down.
Okay.
The thing about the Muppets is something's controlling them, and I'm not quite sure what. So. Just don't look down. If you're a Muppet and you're listening to this, don't look down.
Why? What's underneath me?
That's the thing. I haven't. That's the scary void that's under there.
Well, I won't look down now, but maybe I guess I will later. That doesn't sound.
Yeah.
What would be the problem with that?
It's just a little scary.
Okay. Well, let's not go into it now.
We'll not go into it now. But just don't look down there.
I don't know why he's saying that, folks. I don't know why. Now. You've written and directed shows a couple of times now. How does your writing process differ when you're alone versus when you're writing in a team? And how do you make sure your intentions with the script make it to the big stage?
I can answer that last one pretty quickly. Making it to the big stage, we go through juries and stuff. So we tend to have preview audiences come through early in the writing stages. So that if there's things that aren't landing or aren't funny, or sometimes when you're in a certain environment, you don't write offensive things, but sometimes you miss subtle things that can be subtly taken as offensive. Yeah,
I think talking on live air about murdering and eating Cookie Monster's family, that might have been a social faux pas.
Yeah, it is. It's not great, and so that's why we'll have a team go and review this and cut.
This is live.
Well,
keeping on.
Anyway, moving on. So making sure that it gets to the big stage, make sure you have people reviewing what you're saying. Please, dear God. Dear God. The writing process, if you want to keep on script, I think the easiest way to make sure you stick to story and have a flowing story is don't just start writing it and see where it ends up and then get to the end. I recommend, we call it like beat sheets or doing beats. So what are your like main points of the story?
What do you want to get done?
Yeah, if you had to summarize your story in 5 points, what would that look like? And then the in between is the like journey. How are you going to get to those points? I think it just helps keep your story concise. And yeah, make sure you don't waffle on. That's the main thing. Because audiences need to be able to digest it.
And is the writing process any different when you're writing alone versus writing in a group?
100%. Oh, and especially in comedy. I find writing by yourself, I'm not very good at. I tend to like smash my head against the wall because if I can't immediately think of a way out of my writer's block, I'm just stuck there going, oh, yeah,
That's it, I'm getting the gun.
Yeah, that's it. I'm killing myself. No.
Stub my toe, better die.
That's it. It's the apocalypse, guys. I've hit writer's block. When you're writing in a team, it's... I think people come up with things that you would never come up with on your own. I think that's why it's so great to work in a creative team. It can be a bit limiting at times, depending on if they have ideas that are starkly different from your own. But for the most part, they tend to think of things that you would never think of, and different creative ideas. And sometimes, like, if we're writing a sketch and I can't think of an ending, it's nice to pass it on to someone else and they'll look at it and go, oh, you stupid idiot, there's literally a punchline right there. And it's nice to have that handed back to you and go, there's a reason I'm keeping you around. There's a reason I keep you dancing in my cage.
Now, if you could reverse this worldly curse and turn everyone back into human people at the cost of turning yourself into a puppet, would you? How would you cope as a lone living puppet in a human world? And on the inside, Charlie, are you a man or are you a muppet?
Am I a man or am I a muppet?
If I'm a muppet, I'm gonna get the noose.
That is unfortunately the way it's gonna go.
Would you please reverse the curse?
I honestly, you know what? I would reverse the curse.
Oh, thank you.
And it's not
no
just...
takesy backsies.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay as long as I look like a good Muppet.
Yeah.
There are some really there can be some ugly ones, and I'd like to come back as a Uncle Deadly kind of Muppet.
Yeah.
You know, he's got some suave fashion. And I'd like to steal from his closet. But you know, I would reverse the curse, and it's specifically because I'm gonna be the only Muppet in the world. I'm a celebrity now. Everyone's gonna know who I am.
Well, you have to compete with Kermit, of course.
Oh, that's
yeah.
That's nothing. He's just a frog. What does he know?
What does he know of being human?
What does he know about being a Muppet? What does he know about being green? I'm wearing green right now. I can be green too.
That's right. So, how do you cope being a Muppet in a man world?
Well, Muppets don't have to eat, right?
True.
So, you know,
no cost of living.
No cost of living. I can live in a theater storage space for the rest of my life. So no paying rent, no paying for food.
Yeah.
I don't need water either. So honestly, there are a lot of benefits, and also, like I said, easy stardom.
Well, sorry, I should have mentioned that I used a bunch of witch magic to make that last question soulfully binding. So we have started turning back into people, and if you notice, if you look at your skin, you might be growing a bit of, you know, like velvet.
Hey,
and
I'm
silk.
soft.
Yeah. Well, and also, I've got human fingers now.
Oh.
Muppet body, but human fingers.
Okay. I lost all the feeling in my fingers.
Yeah, that's the first sign.
And in my toes.
Yeah. And soon your nose will turn orange. And whenever someone starts playing on the piano, you will have to sing along.
Oh, wow, what an actual curse.
I know. What are you, some type of theater kid? But the way you make it sound, I kind of want to take it back now. I mean, you're
Yeah.
right, no cost of living if we're all just a bunch of stuffed creatures.
Exactly right. And you know
Ah.
what? I don't have to worry about my own mortality. So that's pretty great.
Now, method actors typically treat characters as states of being. Think about your Jokers, think about your Jared Letos. Actors like Dwayne The Rock playing themselves. Do you see characters as an extension of yourself? Masks you put on, or toys you play with, like puppets on your hand? Linking the theme, are we? How does this acting skill translate to other facets of your life?
Oh, I think there's a really...
What are characters to you?
What are characters? There's a really great performance theory on this, and I hate that I'm having a blank at, like, every time I've gone, oh, there's something interesting, and I can't remember what it's called or what anything about it. But there's a really interesting theory that is it talks about the everyday, the performance of the everyday, and how we put on different masks to talk to different people. How you would interact with your youth pastor or your mom and dad or your friends. Completely changes between sets of people. And even like the way you act between certain groups of friends completely changes. We always joke about seeing if I can use the language of friend group A with friend group B. But that's true, because we learn to change the way we act and the way we talk based on certain social situations. It's a survival skill. Speaking of surviving the apocalypse.
Yeah, woo. It also makes sense. I mean, you're not really lying to people. It's still the same person underneath. It's still the same information that you've learned. And to be an effective communicator, you don't speak in the one way all the time.
Yeah, well, look, because I do teaching, the way I speak in the classroom is completely different to how I speak with my friends. Because it becomes about how you can best convey information to different audience types. So I find with a lot of my teenagers, I like to give them analogies from games that they know or things that they would actually know, because that actually assists in their learning, which does send them a little bit of disbelief. I had a kid, I used a Minecraft reference once, and I've never seen a kid so slack-jawed going, "You play Minecraft?" "Yes, buddy, of course I play Minecraft."
Behind all these wrinkles, I'm actually just, a 20-year-old something or other.
Yeah, it's just changing the media to... and so in a similar way, we take experience. I think acting is we take experience from our own life and, like, social situations we've had. Even with singing and any kind of theatre, if you want to be sad, you can think about a sad part in your life, and often that emotion will translate through. I mean, the Stanislavski method is common, but honestly, because it is...
What is this Stanislavski method?
Well, this is the method acting we were talking about. Yeah. So, the Stanislavski method is a lot of becoming the person that you are going to portray. And that can really help as well, putting yourself in the shoes of someone else. So it's an empathy exercise at the end of the day. And having experience with some kind of emotion, you can draw upon that to act better. I see acting as an extension of myself. And I think also, especially in comedy, like I said, I am playing a character, but I also do feel like it is me in a little jester hat. Half the time it's like, it's me doing a silly little thing.
Yeah.
And how far you want to take it is up to you, but it feels like I'm still me at the end of the day, but there's an extension beyond that. And also I think it helps with any kind of stage fright as well.
It's you for a purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you very much today. Actually, I've got that thing that you said earlier nagging on my mind. I'm just going to quickly look down and... Oh! It's just my legs. Human legs. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Skin, nails, beating heart. Oh, I think we're all back to human. Thank you for your sacrifice, Charlie.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm loving it, honestly, and I'm just never going to look down again because I don't want to know what is controlling me. So,
wait, why? What's down there?
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh. And thank you for listening to another episode of Before Extinction. If you enjoyed Charlie's presence on the podcast today, then you should totally check them out in their upcoming theatre shows. This includes Queer Rev, a Dungeons & Dragons comedy playing from May 14th to May 16th. You can also check him out in Macquarie Musical Society's rendition of Nerdy Prudes Must Die from June 5 to 13th. Book your tickets online or search your local trash cans for a strange green creature and ask it for free entry, only to be rewarded with gratuitous insults. Goodbye.